Hello everybody and welcome back to Alaris Labs YouTube channel. Today in our video we will describe the system architecture in as much details as possible to help you better understand the system and its processes. We will investigate the whole path which a call passes before it reaches the system. Let's first see what modules the system consists of. The first and the most important module is database. It is the main repository of all data related to configuration, calls, and the system's logic. It means that rates, CDR statistics, which you can find in the interface, are located here. Usually, there are two common variants of the database installation. The first variant is when the database is installed on a single server, but unfortunately, it doesn't ensure stability and redundancy. The second variant is when two servers are used, and in that case you will have one active database server and a second standby server. Such server configuration provides you with stability and redundancy. As in case the main server crashes, the other one will become active and will have all your data. In our example, let's use the second option. Alaris InVoice doesn't include a voice switch. Usually, the system interacts with an external source switch, which in turn is connected to a set of clients and vendors. Generally, there are only 2 points of contact between Alaris InVoice and the source switch. There are Alaris engine, further on referred to as the routing, Alaris CDR parser, which will be described later. CDRs can be also imported using the link between the databases, but in this case the CDRs needs to be passed to the server as well for statistics be calculated. Let's firstly investigate Alaris Routing and the way it works. This module consists of several submodules. The first important submodule which interacts with the source switch is SIP balancer. It waits for the traffic to arrive on the port 5060 and in turn provides your switch with the routing instructions. The second submodule, called Hardware Dispatcher, prefers the routing. Several dispatchers can be used. Their number depends on the planned amount of traffic. Additionally, they can be located on the different servers depending on the chosen configuration. All of them are connected to the SIP balancer submodule. One of the responsibilities of these submodules is to import the full configuration of the database, as all this information will be used by the routing. The interaction between the modules looks as follows. The voice traffic passes to the source switch and later to the SIP balancer as a call initiation message, invite. The balancer checks the status of the mentioned dispatchers and passes the call for the routing to one of them. As a result, a dispatcher returns the list of possible routes to the balancer and the information is passed further as SIP 300 or 302 message. Finally, the call is passed further to the vendor specified in the response by the source switch. Now let's check the submodule CDR parser that was mentioned earlier. It is responsible for mediation of CDR files downloaded from the switch. Since every switch has its own format of call detail records, the CDR parser needs to be configured to comply with various formats. There are two general operation modes. The first mode implies that it is needed to take the files for processing from the switch server. Then, our team will specify the location where the CDRs are stored and the CDR parser will download them for processing. The second mode implies that the switch is able to pass the CDRs to the server where Alaris CDR parser is installed. Then, these CDRs will be processed by taking these files from the local folder. The output of the module is normalized call records ready to be uploaded to the database. After all the operations, the processed CDRs are collected in the folder from which the database will import them for further use. Another important module in the system is User Interface Dispatcher. It serves as a gateway between the database and the front-end web interface. It also provides security and permission control. To ensure security and consistency of the data, the system doesn't allow direct access to the database. Any request from the web interface is authorized based on a user, password, and a set of access permissions. Therefore, no intruder can get control on behalf of a user. It is connected to the database and all users accessing the web interface can see, add and edit all the information which is made available to them. The user operates the system mostly through the interface, and it is enough to control all the processes in the system. The final big module is Wholesale Portal. It can help your partners get the stats and information which the user can see in the user interface dispatcher. It is also possible to check invoices, payments, analytics stats and CDRs. The system owner user can provide clients or vendors with the password and username manually, or partners can register themselves. It is a convenient instrument to share the information with your partners. They can also make payments in the portal to top up the balance of their accounts in your system. We have described all important modules in the system, and now let's follow the way which the calls goes before a CDR appears in the web interface. First, the call comes to the soft switch, and later it is passed a SIP invite packet with the following parameters: A number, B number, IP address of the client. The packet is received by the SIP balancer and passed further to the hardware dispatcher. It will process the request and prepare the routing list with possible routes. After the packet SIP 300-302 is returned to the soft switch with the list of possible routes, the switch tries to establish the connection with vendors one by one. After the call is terminated and finished, the switch writes the CDRs and the record is further processed by the CDR parser. Finally, it is imported by the database, and the user can see the call through the user interface dispatcher, and clients and vendors through the wholesale portal. This is all the information that we plan to share with you in this lesson. In case you have any other questions, you are always welcome to contact our support team. If you have any suggestions regarding the channel development, we'll be happy to get them by the following email. See you in the next lesson, and thank you for watching.